Hey everyone, this is Steve. I wanted to give everybody an update on upcoming episodes with the podcast, and also kind of some things that have been going on in my personal life. Um, this episode might be a little bit unedited, and I'm gonna try to just record it in one go here and not cut it and piece it together and things like that. I just wanted to give everybody an update. If you're interested in just the episodes and just the stories, this is not going to be a regular episode. So I just wanted to give everybody kind of just an update on everything that's been going on the last month. So as you know, we took about a month break from the podcast. It was the holidays, and my wife and I are trying to get our house ready to sell, just within the local area where we live. But we're looking to do that, and we've just been super busy with stuff like that. And then all the regular jobs, and having two teenage boys who are very busy and trying to keep up with that. But beside that, I over the last few months have been going to the doctor for different tests and things because they found some nodules on my thyroid. And it feels weird to talk about this on my podcast, so I apologize if this is maybe more information than people want. I know the podcast is just really focused on stories of people who have left Christianity, and that's what it's about. But in thinking about, I want you guys to know why the podcast took a break for a month, and then also I thought about how when I speak to my guests, or when I speak to you via email, when people email me who listen to the podcast, I just feel like people are so very authentic and vulnerable with their stories, and just being so open about their experiences and their mental health, and the difficulties of leaving Christianity. And I just kind of felt like it goes both ways, and I want to be open with all of you. And I consider all of you friends, even though most of you I haven't met. But those of you who have emailed me, it's so exciting when I'm able to connect, via either Facebook or Twitter or just an email. Just hearing from you, whenever I hear from listeners, it's always just it's great. I feel like I make a new friend, every time. So it's kind of cool. But so it feels a little narcissistic to just be talking about myself like this, but I just thought I'd give you guys an update. So that's all this is intended to be, just an update on kind of where I'm at and what's going on in my life. And also a little bit about the podcast. So just first of all, like I was saying, I ended up getting diagnosed with stage 1 papillary thyroid cancer. So the good news is it has a really good prognosis, and I'm 39 years old, so I'm pretty young, which is works in my favor with something like this. So I had surgery to remove the half of my thyroid that had the nodules on it, and it went well, and I'm basically recovering from that. So that's probably the biggest reason why there's been a break from the podcast, is just not just kind of healing from that, but also just kind of the mental side of that. There's definitely been just a lot to think about leading up to that, and then also post surgery. So if I'm being honest about everything, that's kind of where I've been, somewhat of a difficult headspace to be in, but the outlook is positive, and that's very encouraging. So I just wanted to tell everybody kind of about that, and where I'm at with all of that. So I guess the only other thing I want to say about that is just that the outlook, the prognosis is good. All of the detectable cancer that was there has been removed, and kind of working with my doctors on like a treatment plan, and going forward, kind of how to monitor things to just make sure it doesn't come back, spread, or if it has, to be able to catch it early and stuff like that. So life will go back to normal for me, excuse me, in a couple weeks. I'll get back to work and things like that. So in the meantime, I'm going to just transition into some podcast stuff. So in the meantime, I am currently editing and working on the next episode with Cass Midgley of Everyone's Agnostic podcast. That was a really cool conversation, and it was really fun to meet him because he's someone that I had listened to for many years, from the beginning of when his podcast started. And in listening to his podcast, I realized it was something that I really wanted to do, that having these conversations with people was so important for me personally. Just just processing what I went through in talking to people, it helps me so much. And it's also a lot of fun, and I really enjoy meeting each and every one of my guests. And like I said earlier, meeting all of you through email, or whenever I get a message through the website or whatnot. So that is being worked on right now. I did tell you last episode that I'd have it out January 15th, and that's, might still happen later in the day, but I'm going to just take my time in editing it, and been doing a lot of resting, and I've been more fatigued, I think, than I thought I would be after surgery. So it's taken me longer to do things, and I'm just tired, but it's okay. It's just, it just takes time to recover. But anyway, just know that I'm working on that episode now, and hope to have that out in the next day or two. So there'll be a little bit of a more of a delay than I thought, but I know that's not a big deal. So in addition to that, the only other things I wanted to mention to you guys was because of everything going on, I've gotten behind on updating the Facebook page and the Twitter site. I haven't gotten every guest's profile up on the website, which I always like to do. So I haven't been keeping up to date, and I'm going to try to get that stuff caught up, but it just depends on how things go over the next couple of weeks. But just know I'm aware of that and trying to update everything. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention is because the editing process takes me so long, and part of it's my fault because I'm just too particular with things, and sometimes I just need to not edit anything, which is what I'm doing with this episode. So this is good practice. I'm going to try to keep the episodes under an hour, or at least to about an hour. I know sometimes I'm good at doing that, and the episodes are about an hour, and other times they go about 2 hours. And my problem is I love so much hearing the stories of the people I'm talking to, and I never want to cut them off, and I never want to shortcut what they're saying, and I feel bad doing that, and so I really don't want to do that. But I also know it takes me many hours during the week to not only edit and publish the episode, but also to update Facebook and update the website. And some of those things, like I said, I've gotten behind on. So I'm hoping that by cutting down the time, or being a little more disciplined with each episode's length, that will enable me to have time to do those little things that I've kind of let slip here and there, just due to the busyness of life and stuff. So that's my goal. We'll see if I'm good at keeping that, but I want to keep it to about an hour. I think that's a lot more digestible as a listener, rather than a 2-hour episode. But yeah. So like I said, it's hard for me to do that because I enjoy so much these conversations. But I just wanted to tell you guys those are kind of the updates. I swear there's something else that I'm forgetting to mention to you guys about the episodes. Other than just a little preview about the next episode. I already kind of mentioned Cass Midgley. I'll be putting that one out soon. And I will be working on editing it and hopefully have it out to you guys in the next few days or so. Thank you again to everyone who listens and everyone I've heard from. To those who have episodes that I've recorded with already, my apologies for the delay, but your episodes will be published soon. And to those who are waiting to have an interview with me to be able to do, who are waiting to record an episode with me, is what I'm trying to say. I haven't forgotten about you, and I am very much looking forward to hearing your stories. But things will get back on track in the coming weeks, so just hang tight, and we will get things kind of back on track very soon. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, thank you so much for listening, and I really appreciate all of you and all of your emails that I get and hearing from you, and it's great. So take care, and I look forward to speaking with all of you very soon. All right, thanks.